phone fight between Kim Kardashian and her sister Kourtney Kardashian sunk to a really, really disgusting low on last night's episode of the Kardashians. Guys, I'm really floored by Kim's behavior in this conversation because it felt like she really tried to make Kourtney feel as isolated as possible, and that's just not fair. They're still beefing over the wedding country, the Dolce and Gabbana like stuff, like all these things that really are so inconsequential at the end of the day. And that is disappointing enough in and of itself. And I did recently make a video, theorizing that perhaps a big reason why Kourtney hates Kim so much in this moment is because of her husband, Travis Barker. I'm not saying that Travis like directly is behind it, but I think that she kind of feels some sort of way about the way that Travis was openly very, very, very obsessed with Kim over the years. So he had known this Kardashian family for decades, but he was obsessed with only Kim, right? And so he wrote about it in his book. He talked about it extensively, like, in interviews and whatnot. And so ultimately he ends up marrying Kourtney. And I think Kourtney still harbors some sort of resentment over that, when maybe like there's some kind of anxiety or worry that like, she might be betrayed, or I don't know, but that's just the sense that I get here. Okay. And I think that those are valid feelings for her to have. But I do think that the way she expresses them are very venomous towards her sister. But that is not to defend Kim. In fact, I think they're both wrong in this feud. And I'm really, really disappointed in how low Kim took things. So when she was fighting with Kourtney, she tries to tell her that nobody in her world really, really, really likes her and cares for her and is genuine with her. And I felt like that was really disgusting of her to do. She tells Kourtney, oh, you think your friends are your friends, but they're really not. They're always funneling this information to us, telling us that you are not happy. They are wondering why you're acting this way lately. In fact, we have a group chat called Not Kourtney where we could funnel all this information because there's just so much of it coming in about how you were a miserable person. And I was like, oh my God, like that is just such a terrible, terrible, terrible thing to say to and about your sister. Like that to me is incredibly unacceptable, if I could be honest with you guys, and just cruel. And that wasn't even the worst of it. Okay. Like Kim actually even says, oh, your kids come to me with problems that they have with you and how you are. And I'm like, oh my God, you're bringing kids into it. Your beef with her is so bad that you're bringing up her kids and on camera. Like, holy crap, Kim, is it that serious? I think that there are certain things that you can just never walk back in life. And to me, this is one of them. She needs to issue a public apology, in my opinion. Like, Kim, this is way too damn far. There was no reason for Macy, Penelope, or Rain to be brought into this, because if they're, first of all, telling you things about Kourtney in confidence, like as their auntie, you're supposed to keep their trust, okay? Like you're not supposed to throw them under the bus to their mom, especially on television like that. And then for like Kourtney is your sister, why would you humiliate her on this level? That is just so deeply unfair. Kourtney did do her fair share of mudslinging, okay? She called Kim to very egotistical. She called her a narcissist and whatnot. And she she also went in on Kim, but I understand why she would say that after the comments that Kim made about her and the way that Kim brought her children into this discussion as well. One thing that confuses me about Kourtney, however, is that she's constantly talking about how she doesn't want to be around this family, this energy. She doesn't need them. So why are you still filming the show, boo? Like, get off the show. Go do your own show with Travis. I know that we reported about this months ago that they had been trying to shop a spinoff or something like that. I don't know why that hasn't been picked up yet. I guess they're not as compelling as we thought they were. I'm surprised because Travis used to have his own reality show with Shayna Moukler. I used to watch it here and there, even though I didn't know who Travis was and I didn't know who Shayna was. It was on TV. And so if it's on the TV, and there's nothing else better, I'll watch it, So I don't know why they don't give this a shot. I think that at this point, that's just what Kourtney has to do. Stop complaining about these people and then signing up and working, complaining about working as well, but then signing up every season to be around them and to continue to work. You're already a rich woman. Travis is a rich man. You guys are fine without the show, yet you keep on signing up. So in my opinion, if you're going to continue on with the show, you need to stop acting like you don't want to be a part of it anymore, because it's just ridiculous. Another thing that struck me as kind of odd was the way that Kourtney says that she didn't need her family anymore. Why is that? Just because you're in this relationship with somebody, you don't need your family anymore? Like, I find that very sad. And I find that very worrying. Who's telling her this? Like, was she like this when she was with Scott? I don't think so. So why is it that now that she's with Travis, she feels like she doesn't need her family anymore? I don't know. Something about that rubs me the wrong way. And it makes me kind of wonder what Travis is putting in her head behind the scenes that makes her feel like she needs to be isolated from her family. I understand her wanting to distance herself from Kimberly because of their feud and whatnot. Like, that's totally normal. Take some space and time. Remember, Kim has said some horrible things to her in the past, like, you know nothing about running a business. You're lazy. You're the least exciting to look at. Like, she's been really vicious with Kourtney. So I understand her wanting space from Kim. But what about Khloe, Kylie, Kendall, Chris? Like, I feel like these people have been there in her life and have not been terrible to her the way that Kim has. So I don't know why she feels like just because she's with Travis now, she doesn't need to have any sort of contact with her family. I think that that's something that's very strange. And I want to ask you guys if you agree with her statements about Kim during her wedding. Is it true that Kim was complaining throughout her wedding? She was miserable, unhappy for her, and she wanted the spotlight to be on herself instead. I didn't really get that vibe. I do know that Kim was quite egotistical when she said that Kourtney was copying her with her wedding country and her wedding singer and whatnot. But come on now, like, people get married in Italy every day. Andrea Bocelli is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful artist who gets hired to sing at weddings all the time. So to me, it's just, I don't know. And like, Kim's been married so many times that you are bound to get certain overlaps with her, right? So I get why, like, these stacking up of coincidences would get to her, but at the same time, sis, you've been married a bunch of times, so there are going to be overlaps. Okay, like, if Khloe gets remarried one day, perhaps there will be some overlaps there. Same for Kendall and Kylie if they get married one day, or even Rob. Like, she's already done so much. She's already had, so many beautiful, wonderful weddings. And, it just is what it is. Are we next going to complain that somebody wore a white dress? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, guys, I do want to know what you guys felt about Kim's comments in her feud with Kourtney. Was it fair to tell Kourtney that she shouldn't trust anybody around her, that her friends were coming to them with all sorts of information, so much so that they needed to create a group chat to track it all? Was it fair for her to also tell Kourtney that her kids are coming to her with problems that they have with Kourtney? Like, why is she trying to convince Kourtney so bad that she's miserable? It seems like Kourtney is in the happiest place in her life right now, yet Kim is trying to convince her she's miserable. And I find that to be rather strange. But more importantly, I want to know what you have to say about everything. So please make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.